Adam, question for you. Are we back?
We are so fucking back here on the Soundcheck podcast.
Episode 28. Uh, Full transparency. We've had some Wi-Fi issues. Hopefully this is going to go smoothly. We can get this done for the good people that want to listen to us yap. Um, how are you feeling on this fine Sunday morning, brother?
Feeling good. I got a good night's sleep last night. Woke up this morning, had some blueberries, had some water. Doing a little bit of packing. I'm getting ready to go to the beach for a little bit just to, unwind, take a little vacation, post tour, sit out on the sand. And I feel good,
God
man. I
forbid a
feel
guy
really
puts
good.
his toes in the sand.
God forbid a guy puts his toes in the sand. Surely
Good for
you
you.
wouldn't be mad at that, would you?
No, I would be mad at it for me, but not for you. I don't like
I
sand.
see.
I'm not a
Yeah.
sand guy.
You're like Darth Vader. He doesn't like sand either.
Whatever.
Kind of
You
a
keep saying that on this podcast, and I never know what you're talking about. Um,
big Star Wars fan.
but yeah, you had a good time on tour. So did I. We just finished. I got in late last night. I'm ready to unwind, get back in the grind mode starting tomorrow. Um, and I know you wanted to talk about some things that went down when you stayed at my parents' house in
Oh,
Massachusetts.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, you had kind of like a one-off during these run of shows in Boston. There was nothing like before it or after it, so you were going to and from your house and going to do the show in Boston, which is like a 9 or 10 hour drive or something, right?
Yeah, like 10
Um,
hours about.
so yeah, you texted me like, "Yo, these Airbnb prices in Boston are out of control. I'm not sure what I'm going to do." And I was just like, "Yo, let me see if my parents would be cool with you guys crashing with them for the night, so you can drive up the day before and then make it easier on you." Which I kind of figured they would be. My parents are, in their early 60s. Everyone's out the house. Figured they'd be excited to have a little company. Um, and to be clear, I wasn't there. I was on tour separately. So this was going to be your first time meeting my parents, which is kind of funny. Um, and yeah, I grew up like 90 minutes west of Boston. So it just makes it easy for you, like day of. So yeah, tell me about how things went down.
Yeah, I felt like we got a good Dylan Reese exclusive experience, We got to see a little piece of your childhood there. It was nice. It was really nice. We got there a little bit later than expected. Originally, we were supposed to be there at like 6 p.m. And I think like we just kind of got set back on our drive. We didn't make it there until like 9 p.m. So, um, dude, your parents super super kind, really good people. Thanks for setting that up. Thanks for having us there.
Yeah,
Um, and dude, like we got there, your mom had made like soup, your mom made salad, just so warming, just
she'll
so
do that.
welcoming. Yeah, it was great. It was a great. Oh, and we took a shot of something. I can't remember what it was. Some sort of liqueur. It was like a raspberry flavored. I'm not good with remembering stuff like that, but Pat knew exactly what it was, and they were saying that there's a certain like chocolate cake or something, like a sort of wedding cake that they make with that a lot that's to die for. So I got to do my research on it. But anyway, main point is that they were very welcoming, great hospitality, and we were really grateful for it. Not only for saving money, but just the experience as a whole was a lot
Yeah,
of fun. Um,
yeah, my parents are the
saving money
best.
saving money definitely helped, dude. Like Boston, we've been touring all across the country, and Boston had some of the highest hotel prices and Airbnbs. It was like $400 or $500 for a night in a hotel that didn't seem to be that like
Yeah,
extravagant, just like a simple ass hotel.
Boston is a really dope city, um, but it's definitely expensive. More expensive than I think people would think unless they go there.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
So we got into this story a little bit. We started recording this podcast a little bit and had some Wi-Fi issues, so we're restarting here. But I'm gonna recap on some of these stories because they're special and they definitely need to be shared here on this podcast. So we get there and your mom is like, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna carry your bags in, get you all settled in, show you where you're sleeping or whatever," and she goes, "Do you wanna go see where Dylan's studio was?" You would go downstairs and see the studio. I was like, yeah, obviously, I wanna see this, because 'cause I've been hearing
Not much
you."
of a studio left.
Yeah,
It's
not
more of
much of a
storage
studio
at this
left,
point.
more storage, but you could get the idea. You could see where it all was. And, because I've been hearing you tell stories about the studio for years, about, like, bringing rappers into your house and doing studio sessions and all this stuff, and, um, it's kinda like a book, how you read a book and you kinda just build the world in your head and you imagine what it would look like, and then, it's like you finally get to step into the physical place and see it for the first time. It's cool. It's kinda like, it's like when they made the Harry Potter movies or something. Everybody who read them before was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I felt like I was in, like, the music industry Hogwarts for me. That was, like, kind of
That's
ki
hilarious.
kind of a good, um but
How did the
anyway, we go
studio
down there and there's,
compare?
like, the li
How did the studio compare in person as compared to how you saw it in your head from me telling you about it?
it was, like, pretty similar, but also a lot of differences as well. The main thing was, like, you never really know where it's placed in comparison to the house as a whole. You never know if you say there's, like, a studio downstairs, is that, like, far away from the living room? Is it, like, right where everyone can hear you? It was pretty much like where your studio is like right underneath living room and the whole place, and it's like you could tell that when you were doing sessions there, the whole house could hear it. Everybody could
Oh, yeah.
definitely hear what was going on. Which is fucking
Shout out to
it's
my parents
awesome.
for letting me rock because, like, yeah, we were down there making a lot of noise, and we had some drug dealers coming through yelling into my microphone so I could make $60 or whatever. And
Yep.
yeah, they just kind of let me rock and put up with it. So it was a crazy era. But yeah, it's not a big
Yeah,
house,
dude.
so it's right there.
Yeah. And shout out to you for doing that because like, when I was growing up and I was recording in my house, living with parents and everything, like my parents were always super supportive and they liked my music. They never tell me anything bad about it, but I can just remember feeling like subconscious a little bit like I would only record songs when nobody was home. You know what I mean? So, that's a whole challenge in its own to just be like, I don't know, having a creative expression of yourself meanwhile like your family and your parents are around. And I don't know, did that ever get to you at all, or did you kind of just did that not bother you?
I was letting it rip from the beginning. Uh, it at first I didn't even it didn't even register to me that people were potentially listening upstairs. Like my mom's up there making dinner or something, and she's just listening to me fucking yell about God knows what. Um, and then I realized that she could hear me, and I don't know. I kind of just didn't care. I didn't really have a choice. Like I built a studio there for a reason, so obviously I was going to use it, and I was trying to be focused on what I was doing. So yeah, it didn't really matter what time of day or whatever. I was just doing my thing, and again, like they just kind of put up with it. So there's never a complaint, which is good.
That is good. Yeah, your mom mentioned a song, and I still can't remember which one that it was, but one specifically, she was like, "Oh, he was recording this song, and I just knew I loved it. I knew I loved it." And she was like, "I went downstairs and I told him like, Dylan, that's a really good song," and you had to hit her with like a "Go back upstairs, mom," or whatever.
Let me finish at least.
Um, yeah, let me finish it. So that was good, dude. And there were all these posters up on the wall and just it felt like a Dylan Reese museum in there. Like you could just see the history of some of the earlier shows that you played and it was like a little piece of history down there. All these old shows and old flyers. One specifically that stood out to me was like when you opened for John Bellion because I'm a big John Bellion fan, so that's always been a just cool piece of your story that happened. And yeah, dude, it was really special seeing all of that and just being there at your crib.
And also, just to paint the picture for people, it's definitely not a a professional like shrine of like what was going on. It was like one copy of like a shitty poster that I made that I went to Staples to print out so I could tape it on my wall for whatever reason. That's what I wanted to do. But there's probably like 25 or 30 of those all around the studio, just still taped to the wall, like 10, 15 years later for some of them, which, yeah, it's kind of cool that they kept it all down there. I mean, they're not really using that space for anything, but yeah, I have so many good memories in that little room that we built out. And, I spent so much time like learning about what I do now in that space. So it's a special, little relic. I'm glad you got to see it.
Yeah, me too. I was really happy to see it as well. I picked up a couple stories from being around your parents. You know, I'm a inquisitive person. I like to learn things about people and things, and got a nice like peek behind the curtain. Felt like on your childhood and just some funny stuff, some interesting stuff that I wanted to talk about on the podcast. If you're cool with
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
The one thing that I took away from it, which just made me really happy, hearing about you as a kid. It made me really happy that you're my manager because, like, it I realized that you've always been about your business and you've always been yourself. Like she was telling me stories of shit that you were doing as a kid and I was hearing these stories and I was like, "Yo, Dylan moves the same exact way right now." And it just it I walked away with a feeling of like this motherfucker's just always been him.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, okay, here we go. First story that we want to dive into. At school, I caught word that you would go to school and there was like a certain price for um the lunch. Like you would pay for your lunch and it wasn't like a whole amount. It was like $1.60 or something like that. And so everybody after they would get their school lunch would have some change left over. And I heard that you were always about your business and you were always, you know, capitalizing on the moment and you were having other people like, "Hey, what are you going to do with that change? Let me get that leftover change," and you were stacking up your money. Can you touch on this a
100%.
little bit?
Yeah. So, uh, lunch was $1.65. So what what my parents would do is they would give me $10 for the week. So basically $2 a day for lunch because there's 5 days of school, right? So every day I would have 35 cents left over and I would just save that for myself, put it aside. So it was a nice little come up because nobody's trying to count out $1.65 every day, you know? So I knew there was other kids that same thing was happening. They got $2 for lunch. So I would just walk around and like I knew everybody. I was friendly with everybody at school, like all the groups. I feel like I knew at least one person in like their little clique, you know? So I'd walk around, just be chatting with people, whatever, and I would see a quarter and a dime on their lunch tray. And I'd be like, yo, what are you about to do with that 35 cents? Probably nothing. It's like no money. That's the thing. It's like such a small amount of money that no one cared, but enough if you get that from like, 10 people a day or whatever. By the end of the week, by the end of the month, by the end of the year, you got extra money in a piggy bank. I probably bought a Dwayne Wade jersey or something off of asking people for 35 cents at a time for no reason, just because I knew it was there. And yeah, it worked out. It kind of just it got to the point where I wouldn't even ask people. They would just like walk over and like hand me their change because like they knew I was gonna come around and ask. Because you could also buy like cookies or like an iced tea or something like in the cafeteria that wasn't a part of like the lunch that you paid for. So like
Yeah.
sometimes I might splurge and get a little 5 pack of cookies or something, break off the
Damn.
gang, have a day on a Friday. You know what I mean?
Break off the gang a little piece of the cookie,
Come
little
on.
piece of the hard work. Hey,
But
here's a
yeah,
cookie for all the hard work.
yep.
That's
But
incredible.
yeah,
And so, wait, how old were you? Was this high school, middle school? When was this happening?
both.
Both. Damn,
middle
you
school
were
and high school. Yeah,
locked in for years.
definitely started in
That's
middle
great.
school.
And and another story that I got about your speaking of like school, you in school. I picked up that you pretty much never miss school. You have perfect attendance.
Yeah, third grade through 12th grade, never missed a day of school. And I get that's a bit odd. People are like, you never got sick? I'm like, no, I never got sick. Even if I was a little bit sick, I'm going to fucking school. And I'm not sure what it was, but I was one of the kids that loved going to school. And I think it's mostly just because all my friends were there and shit. Like, I just loved hanging out. And I didn't take like the academic part super seriously, but I was a kid that was like, I was just doing what I was supposed to be doing. I never had like a rebellious stage of like, yo, I'm gonna skip school and fucking do graffiti or some shit. Like I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna play basketball after school. And the park that I play at is like basically right next to the school I went to. So I was like, I'm gonna go over there anyway. That's what I want to be doing. So yeah, I never missed school. I wasn't interested in playing hooky.
Yeah, and you that's interesting that you never really got sick because I feel like even these days you don't really get sick. I've never heard of you like going to the doctor, really.
Fuck the doctor. It's a scam, dude.
You've
You know, open
always
up
just
another can
been
of worms.
always just been built different. That's
I
crazy,
mean,
dude.
if it's not like I'm invincible, you know. Like I'll have a sniffle here and there, but it's like I'm gonna get through it. I'm not gonna like go to the
Yeah,
emergency room because I'm fucking coughing or something. I feel like
right.
people like overreact to shit, especially nowadays.
Yeah. And what's the your mom was telling us about there's like a big festival that's around where you grew up. What's it called? There's like a big like music festival or
Oh,
something.
it's the Big E. It's like yeah, it's like a bunch of food. It's like a carnival type of thing. Um, yeah, it's like comes around once
The
a
Big
year. It's
E.
like a week and a half long, something like that.
She was saying that like she would take your sister and she would be like, "Okay, like you can skip school. We're gonna go to the Big E." And they would try to get you to go and be like, "Dylan, we're going to the Big E. We're gonna have a festival day. You don't gotta go to school." And you would be like, "No, not happening. I gotta go to school.
Hundred
I gotta
percent.
be there."
Yeah.
That's dedication. That's dedication.
Also, like I would go to the Big E like after school or like on the weekend with my homies and shit. Um, but yeah, I wasn't trying to miss school. It's fucking weird actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I could have just taken the day off school and went to hang out, but I was not
Yeah.
about it.
I respect it though, dude. You got a routine, you're locked in, punctual. Just punctual from the beginning.
I'm
And you
I'm a
were
very righteous individual, you know.
yeah, very righteous, doing due diligence to whatever you're going for. And at the time
100%.
you were big locked in on like basketball, like treating your body like a temple, right? Like you were going to the fucking league.
Oh yeah,
So I figured that
I
lifestyle
still might go.
probably yeah, yeah, still I figure that lifestyle and that mindset probably bled over into a lot of other things about just having like a, you know, a good work ethic and showing up for the job.
Yep, that was my first tattoo. Work ethic.
There it
Probably
is.
can't see it. Definitely can't see it on the audio, but that was my first tattoo. I got that
Yeah.
from this guy, Kobe Bryant. Just like
Yep.
staying locked in, being focused, not making excuses. Just like having a level of discipline, you know. And I mean, I was a fucking 13-year-old. Like, didn't matter if I went to school or not. But in my head, I just was like, I don't know. I was just trying to stay locked in and do what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
How did my mom get to
I
tell you?
respect it.
Why did were you asking my mother questions about this, or was she just like, hey, by the way, this fucking guy never missed a day of school?
We had a lot of conversation. Like I wasn't just like hitting her with questions and then she was answering stuff. I mean, we talked for I don't even know how long, 4 or 5 hours. Like I feel like we were all up like just chatting and I feel like we didn't go to bed until after midnight. So these are all things that came up randomly through different conversation. Um it wasn't just like a I'm gonna spill all the beans on. It was like, and and like
Yeah.
she would mention something, and I would ask her, like, oh, what happened here, whatever. So yeah, these were just like little parts of, um, I don't know, they would just pop up randomly in
Were you taking
conversation.
notes, or these are just the highlights that stuck
Oh
out to
yeah,
you?
oh yeah, I was taking notes. Yeah, I got them here on my phone.
It's so good.
Because I knew I'd want to talk about them, and you know, I just
Smart.
sometimes I've got a bad memory for all the details, and it's good for me to write these things down. Like the Big E, for example, I didn't remember what that festival was called, but maybe that's something I should
Yeah.
have jotted down here.
Hmm.
Um,
Next time.
another another fun fact. This one, maybe not too much storytelling behind this one, but I learned that you and Miley Cyrus were born on the same day, same year.
Yeah. Birthday twins.
It's interesting. Have you ever I'd also like to get the details on the hours and minutes and just see how closely you and Miley Cyrus came into the world.
If anyone
Um
wants to give it a goog out there and try to find Miley Cyrus's, maybe that's public information from some weirdos. But I'm pretty sure I was born at 5:30 in the evening around dinner
five
time.
thirty 5:30 p.m.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, we'll have to do some digging after this. But I mentioned this to you before about I think there is a possibility with the branding and everything that you could maybe switch to country music, and it could be like a whole, you're actually Billy Ray Cyrus's son. They switched you guys at birth, and like you actually are like heir to the throne of country music. Dylan Ray Cyrus. What do you
Got it.
think about it? What do you think about
So
this?
are you saying that you think that that potentially happened? Or are you saying that's like a marketing ploy that I could pull out of the bag and like try to get people to believe it?
Before I met your parents, I would have said that actually happened. But I
Got it.
met your parents. It's very clear to see you are their child.
For sure.
So I think that's just, man, if you ever just wanted to
It's like a little scheme,
if you just
little
wanted to
viral moment.
scheme and just be fake as shit, dude, you could do it. You could do it. And
Yeah.
there's some country people out there that would be like, this motherfucker has a point, because you start pulling up the receipts, you start showing them like, no, look, we were born on the same day. Like it's all this big plan. Like Billy Ray didn't want a son. It could work.
You ever heard my song Function in the USA?
No.
It's the R&B version.
Is that a real thing?
No, but it might be
Dude, you should
after
make that.
this. I would never switch to country music. I think you know that. I don't even
Yeah.
want to hear it, to be honest.
You don't really
Never
like it,
mind
do you?
make it.
Well,
But it's a good idea. I mean, it is a fact that we have the same birthday, so you know, we could use that to our advantage in some capacity.
yeah.
Shout out Hannah Montana.
I've got one more thing I wanted to ask you about. This one feels a little bit more personal, so you know what? If this isn't something that you want to talk about on the podcast, we'll just move on and we'll wrap it up. I met your sister. They
Hmm.
came over. It was great conversation. Very kind people. And I heard a story that was very interesting that maybe back in the day you got pissed off at her about a Pokemon card.
Hmm. Do you have more details? Because it's
Yeah.
feeling familiar, but I don't remember this.
They said that when you were a kid you were real big into Pokemon cards and you were kind of collecting them for a period of time. And you got one that was sick. It was like a platinum like Charizard type of thing, and that that your sister for some reason took the card and maybe like ripped it up or like ripped it in half. Like she got mad at you and like broke the card, and to this day maybe you still have a bit of Charizard anger toward the toward the
Um,
Pokemon card incident.
there's definitely no anger left over from that because I barely remember, but I do kind of remember that existing, and I could definitely see myself being highly upset about that. Um,
I think her exact words were, "I ripped up the Pokemon card, and since then nothing's been the same."
Okay, that is so dramatic. Um, dude, were you into Pokemon and stuff like that?
I was, yeah. We had some Pokemon cards. I never like actually played like the card game, but we were playing like the video games. Like I had like a Game Boy, and then I later had like a Nintendo DS. And so some of the early Pokemon games, the Leaf Greens, I think it was like Ruby and Diamond or something like that. I was playing those, and so we had the cards as just like a novelty to the video games, but I never like played like Pokemon cards with somebody. But yeah, we had a couple like they had like those metal tins of Pokemon cards. We had some of those, and since then we got rid of them. Looking back now, wish that we kept them because some of those are probably worth some money. There's a lot of money in the like card
Yeah.
trading world. Um, but yeah,
So
how
I
about you?
I I never played Pokemon. I didn't even really know that was like a thing that you do. Like all the like attacks and like the XP points and shit. That was just like shit on the card that I would read and like memorize for no reason. I didn't actually put them into action. Never really played any video games. I don't know anything. I never watched a show. My thing is, I was just trying to collect them. I was literally just trying to catch them all. Because before Pokemon, I was into baseball cards because my uncle's friend and someone else like gave me a shit ton of old baseball cards when I was like 7. So I was just like reading through them all, like learning random stats. I had like these binders with like the card sleeves, and I would put them in like alphabetical order, and then I would like change it. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna take all this apart, and I'm gonna like put it by the team or like the year or some shit. I would just like organize everything and just like read about it. I was just like a little fucking nerd, and I wanted to be super organized. I had a filing cabinet full of all these cards. So when Pokemon came out, I was like, all right, this is just another thing I can collect and like sit down and like try to find shit. I remember I would like get $8 or whatever somehow, go over to the Fairfield Mall, grab a pack, bust that thing open. All right, fuck, I already got this one. I'll fucking trade this one to Ryan LaPrade down the street. You remember Ryan.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, um, whatever. I would just like find the shit, organize them. And regarding the incident, I remember we were on like a little vacation near the fuck we were, maybe like Cape Cod or something. And I was like probably 9 years old. And I got 2 packs from this like random card store, place that I never go to because we're on vacation. I
yeah,
got 1 pack. There was a Blastoise in it. And I was like, holy shit, that was like one of the top dogs.
yeah,
So I'm fucking feeling myself like, yo, tomorrow I'm gonna go get another pack from that fucking place. And then next day I got another pack and I got a Charizard in the pack. And I was like, yo, this store is like magical or some shit. There's some sort of like crazy shit. Because I would go to the mall by my crib and get a pack and get a bunch of dog shit and be like, yeah, I just wasted $8. And I went 2 for 2 on these packs with like holographic, like the most important cards in the game. It was fucking insane. And I honestly, I don't remember what happened, but it feels like my sister would have did something like that when she was 6.
yeah,
And I was probably highly upset. More so because I was like, I'm never going to find this again. Not because I was like going to sell it or use it in a game. It was just like, I fucking found the thing. It took up the place in the folder and now it's gone.
yeah,
Um, and then when I was maybe 16 or so, I had that folder. My buddy TJ had a tag sale at his house and he's like, yo, you want to come through and like sell some shit, like hang out? I sold that entire folder for like $300 and I thought I was rich. But if I held on to those, definitely had thousands of dollars worth of cards in there.
yeah.
So somebody fucking ripped me off. But that's how the game goes, brother. Sometimes you
You
get
just
got.
love getting ripped off,
Yeah, I go outside every day and get ripped off. Had an $8 coffee yesterday.
getting ripped off.
Costs about 88 cents to create that. I
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Go ahead, rip me off. It's worth it. I think we may have talked about this on a previous podcast episode, but I went to a card trading event in Nashville,
You did
and
tell
it
me this,
was
yeah,
really interesting, bro. Like just people like I didn't realize how big that world was. Like people had protective cases of and
oh
they're
yeah,
like these are just my trading cards. Like these are just the ones I bring to like trading events. It's like I've got a whole other collection at home. I was like, "Holy shit, man." Um I don't that world like definitely blew up at some point because everyone had them as kids, but it just seemed like kind of like you were saying, like they weren't too valuable. You could just buy them. It was fun to collect them, whatever. Um, Now it's like a big deal. It's crazy.
for sure. Um, dude,
Did you ever
I'm really
have
glad you got
those?
to, go ahead.
Did you ever have those? I just remembered another like childhood like toy that I had. Did you ever have those things they were like they were like people, they were different characters and they looked like little like oval shaped things and they were kind of weighted down with a magnet and you would like flip them down your hand and they would like like they would roll down your hand? No, you don't know what I'm talking about?
Drop a comment if you know what Adam's talking about, because I'm pretty sure he's just made this up.
No, no, it's a real thing. They were big. People collected them. You got the different characters, and it was like it was just a little like oval shaped plastic thing, and it almost had like a weighted magnet in it, and it was kind of fun to like flip them around your hand and stuff. We'll see. We'll do some research. Someone will know. Someone will know about them.
I have no idea what that is. It might be an age thing. Maybe that came out when I was like already in high school or something.
Yeah. Did you
I
ever
mean,
have the moon shoes? Moon shoes? I think they're called moon shoes or space shoes or something like that. They were like basically little trampolines that went on your, they were like you're stepping on a like they were individual little trampolines for your feet and you would kind of strap your foot on it and you could like jump
dude,
around.
you have such a good imagination. You should invent some of this stuff.
No, this is real stuff. I'm not making this up. This has already been invented a long time
Nah,
ago.
dude, that's good. I like your ideas.
Did you ever hit a slip and slide?
Oh yeah, of
You did hit a
course.
slip and slide?
I have a song called "Slip and Slide" from 2017.
Let's go.
Did I ever hit a slip and slide?
Did
I
you
was
ever
hitting
do
them.
the Did you ever do the country slip and slide, the homemade slip and slide, where you just get in a trash bag and then you like soap and you like grease up the outside of the trash bag and they send you down the hill?
Oh, that sounds super dangerous though.
Yeah, probably. We were big into those. Like you would just get like an oversized trash bag and as a kid you could fit your whole body in it. And then one of your friends would dump soap all over it or you Crisco, we'd get a thing of Crisco and someone would grease you up and then you would throw them down the hill and they
Dude, that's insane.
yeah, and you go flying.
Yeah, anything like where you like would probably break your neck, like yeah, I was into shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, we were big into that, dude. We were big into that.
That's wild.
Well,
Um,
yeah, dude, I
I'm
really
glad you
enjoyed.
got to meet my parents. That's cool. I wish I was there because I mean, would have had more fun, and we'll probably do that at some point. Um, but yeah, it's cool. They told me they had a great time with y'all too. And you guys are just nice people and all that. And you guys were having a laugh, which is what I
Yeah,
expected to happen. So glad
we
it
had a
worked out.
few of them. Definitely had a few of them. Um, um, there was a song. I forget what it was, man. Your pops and Pat were talking about a song, and Pat goes, man, I turn that on and that song just hypes me up. It gets me going. And he was like in disbelief that Pat, he was like, what do you, I've never heard someone say that that song would hype them up. I wish I could remember what it was off the top of my head, but can't remember. But yeah, dude, we were really grateful to be there and just grateful to meet him and stay. And, hopefully next time we can be there with you because we were also talking about playing, I think it's called Louisiana Rummy
Oh
card
yeah.
game that you taught me.
Yep.
Dude, would love to run that with the family.
Great time. That's a that's an all time classic. I learned how to play when I was like 10 years old, and pretty much anytime I go home to visit my parents, we're just ripping card games. It's so fun. I've
Yeah.
seen my parents cuss each other out over that game. It's really fun.
Really?
Oh yeah. It gets fucking intense. I mean,
I
you've
can
played
see
it.
why.
It's
Yeah.
it's like because it's a game that just takes a lot of thinking and like planning. So like, and you can kind of like fuck each other over. So like, if that happens, like you might be an hour and 45 into it, and you're just like, "Fuck you, dude! You knew I wanted that card, and you just fucking took it, you piece of shit."
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
And
good
we're
one
all from
too.
Massachusetts, so we just swear a lot, and just give each other shit. It's a great time.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a certain spirit up there where I feel like people can like argue with each other and then like the next minute they're like hugging and be like, I love you. Like there's like a casual way of like yelling at each other up there.
100%.
Especially in like New York, I feel like the city. I see all the time people like driving, honking their horn. Fuck you! You don't know how to drive. And then next thing you know, they're like having some food together or whatever. They're like, I don't know. It's kind of relieving actually that you can just casually get some like anger out, and you know that no one's like too serious about it.
Times.
Yeah, good times. Well, I guess we can wrap this up here. It was good chatting about some of the childhood stories of yours and good seeing your hometown and yeah, thanks again
Yeah.
for setting that up and having us there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We'll see y'all next week for another episode. Thanks for tapping in with us. Peace.
Peace.